All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about a critical new soft skill, one that's really going to shape the future of work. It's called cyborg thinking. And no, it's probably not what you're picturing from the movies.
So, to really get a handle on this, let's start with a story. It's a story you probably think you know, but we're going to look at it through a completely new lens. This is all about the original human-machine partnership.
Think about this for a second. The computers on board the Apollo missions, they were less powerful than the phone that's sitting in your pocket right now. Seriously. They provided the raw data, the machine precision. But when it all came down to it, when things got hairy, it was Neil Armstrong's human judgment that actually landed the Eagle safely. That combination has always been the model, but that partnership is now evolving in a really radical way.
I mean, let's be honest, we're all kind of low-key cyborgs already, right? Your phone acts like a prosthetic memory, holding all those birthdays and appointments you'd otherwise forget. Waze is like a navigational crutch that gets you through rush hour traffic. So the key thing to get is that this partnership isn't new, but the way we're collaborating, that is changing, and it's changing fast. Okay, so what is this cyborg thinking then? And why is it so important to get our heads around it right now? Well, it has absolutely nothing to do with becoming a machine. In fact, it's all about becoming more human. Here it is. This is the fundamental mindset shift we all need to make. It's about moving past the idea of AI as just a simple tool, like a hammer or a spreadsheet, and instead starting to treat it like a sparring partner, a collaborator that actually challenges you, that pushes your thinking, and that helps you reach what's called exponential intelligence. That's where the combination of you and the machine is way, way greater than the sum of its parts. And this just lays it out perfectly. There are two mindsets, two paths you can take. There's the pretender, who's afraid that AI is coming to take their job. But then there's the contender, and the contender gets it. They know the real threat isn't the machine. It's being outpaced by other humans who've learned how to dance with the machine. It's all about mastering that partnership.
So how do we actually do this? How do we become a contender? Let's move from the theory to the how-to. Let's break down the practical playbook you can start using like today. This playbook really boils down to 4 key shifts in your thinking. First, you go from being a user to a trainer. You don't just ask the AI questions, you coach it, you feed it your unique context, you push back on its answers. Second, you move from being an executor to an orchestrator. You're not just a task doer, you're the conductor, using AI to help you design the entire strategy. Third, your focus shifts from the output to the outcome. It's not about the slick PowerPoint deck the AI made, it's about the real-world business win that it helped you achieve. And finally, and this is the most powerful one, you go from automation to imagination. You start asking that magic question, what is possible now that was completely impossible before?
Now, this all sounds great in a presentation, right? But the big question is, does this stuff actually work out there in the real world? Well, it turns out the best proof point doesn't come from a tech conference, but from the world of elite sports.
Take a look at this number. 70 wins and only 6 losses. That was Novak Djokovic's absolutely insane record during his historic 2011 tennis season. But this wasn't just some sudden burst of talent out of nowhere. No, it was the result of a profound shift in his entire approach. He's a perfect example of cyborg thinking in action. He augmented his incredible human skill with machine-like precision. He started leveraging data to optimize absolutely everything: his nutrition, his recovery, even his mental state between points. These weren't huge, dramatic changes. They were tiny, data-driven micro-improvements stacked on top of each other day after day until they created a result that looked nothing short of superhuman.
Okay, so if this is how an individual can totally transform their performance, what does it mean for leaders, for managers, for anyone who's responsible for building a team that can win? The implications are, well, they're huge.
This is the question that every single organization needs to be asking itself right now, because the answer is changing way faster than most people realize. You're not just hiring a person and their resume anymore. You're hiring what we call the new talent stack. It's a 3-part system. Of course, you're hiring the individual, their skills, their judgment, their ability to adapt. But you're also hiring their digital twin, a trainable replica of their knowledge, and you're hiring their whole suite of AI agents that they use to get work done. Understanding this 3-part system is absolutely key if you want to build an organization that lasts.
So what's the takeaway? You have to start preparing for this right now. Start hiring for curiosity and the ability to learn, not just a fixed set of skills that might be obsolete in a year. You have to redesign your training to focus on that human judgment piece, the sparring with AI, and start trying to measure the human AI delta. What's the unique value that your people are adding on top of what the AI can do? This needs to be a strategic conversation happening at the very top of the company.
So we've looked at the individual level, we've looked at the organizational level. To wrap this up, let's zoom all the way out. Because the most profound part of this whole shift is how it connects these everyday micro improvements to something, well, something much, much bigger.
I absolutely love this idea from astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. Just think about that. We are literally made of the stuff of stars, brought to life so that the universe itself can become self-aware. It's a powerful frame for thinking about our place in all of this.
And when you connect that idea with everything we've been talking about, something really incredible starts to emerge. Every time Djokovic uses data to refine his serve, or a scientist uses an AI partner to have a breakthrough, that isn't just a small personal victory. It's a tiny upgrade to the entire system. It's the universe learning and evolving and understanding itself through us and our augmented experience.
So you see, this isn't really about productivity hacks or just getting ahead in your career. It's about potential. It's about a new kind of partnership that allows us to solve problems and create things that we never could before. So the real question, the one I want to leave you with, is this. How will you use this partnership to unlock what's next? How will you make Stardust dance?